basic procedure of machine design. So these are the various steps to be followed. Starting with first the market survey. If we want to design and manufacture any product, the first and foremost thing is to survey in the market. What type of products are needed by the society and what are the problems faced by the society. If we are going to launch a product, how the people are going to react or respond to it. So these are based on the demand analysis. This is called market survey. Then in the next step, design specifications of the product. Suppose we are going to launch a scooter. These days electric vehicles became very popular with various people. Suppose if you want to make an electric scooter, so what are the specifications required? It should carry 2 people. It should carry 100 or 120 kgs. It should have this much dimension. Its weight is less than 100 kg. And different braking systems. So all these are called specifications of the product. That if you are going to launch the product, it should have these minimum qualifications or these minimum specifications. And next, study of alternative mechanisms and select a suitable mechanism. For different working conditions, we are going to select different mechanisms. So first we are going to look for various available mechanisms. Out of these available mechanisms, which mechanism is best suited for our particular product. Our product may contain number of mechanisms or it may contain a single mechanism. Next, prepare general layout and select joining methods. General layout means after deciding our product and what mechanisms are needed into that, then we are going to prepare a layout in our factory. That factory may contain several machines like lathe machines, milling machines, CNC machines. Like that, depending on the requirement, we are going to place these machines in such a way that they are going to cater to the needs of the manufacturing. That is called general layout. And this joining methods, after making different components, these components should be joined or assembled in such a way that finally the product comes out is useful and it is easy to assemble or disassemble and it is functioning properly. All these comes under the selection of joining methods. Next, very important thing, design of individual components. Design of machine members is the subject title, and this part of the process of machine design is design of individual components. We are going to design each individual component. That component may be a bar which is subjected to an axial pull or an axial push, which may be subjected to a transverse load and it is supported at one end or it is supported at both ends. Depending upon its shape, depending upon its functionality, depending upon how much load and which way it has to carry, we are going to determine the shape and the dimensions of the member. This particular part is very important of the total process. And then after designing of the individual components, then we go back to the earlier step and in the general layout we are going to produce them. And next step is prepare assembly and detailed drawings and modify after testing the prototype. So these individual components after made, they are to be joined together to make the machine itself, and this machine before it is launched into the market, it has to be tested. That is called prototype. A prototype is the machine which is first made and it is tested in the factory conditions, so that we are knowing it before launching into the market whether this machine is running according to the functional requirement, whether this machine is going to last for the number of hours, that means it has good life or not. All these things are tested. After testing, if you have any feedbacks to change the dimensions or shapes, then accordingly the drawings are to be changed further, and finally the drawings are made which are in order to finally get to the mass production. So after this modification from the testing of prototype, the design and drawings are finally modified, and finally modified drawings are sent to the production shop. In the production shop, that is in the general layout, with the available machinery setup, we are going to produce the things, and those things produced are joined, and after joining them, we are going to do some inspection. This inspection may be depending upon the importance of this machine, whether this machine is going to use in very critical situation or this is used in general situation. Depending upon the criticality or the normal condition the machine is going to use, we are going to choose an inspection method. Depending upon the type of inspection method chosen, we are go for either random sampling or the full inspection. So this is the total procedure of the machine design. This is the general procedure. It is not for any individual component. It is the general procedure to be adopted. Basic requirements of machine elements. These are the various requirements for the machine element, starting with the strength. The machine element is subjected to a load. That load may be an axial load or it may be a tangential load. So depending upon the type of the load, the member is going to induce. That means a stress is induced in the member. If that stress is beyond the failure value of the member, then it is going to fail. That means strength of an element or strength of material for an element is simply the failure value before. That means the amount of stress before the failure occurs. So here one should select an element made of certain material in order to have some strength. That means if it is going to load in an axially compressive direction and this is having certain cross section, based on that we are going to calculate the compressive stress. If the failure value of the material is 100 MPa and the stress induced in the member due to load is 110 MPa, then member is going to fail. So what is strength? The strength is only 100 here, whereas induced value of the stress is 110. So in order to have the required amount of strength, the member should have a dimension or the material with which it is going to have more value of its own stress, that means the material constant, when compared to the induced stress. In simple words, the member should have better stress values when compared to the induced stress values due to the applied load. Next, rigidity. Rigidity means the member should retain or the element should retain its geometry. Initially, it is a cylindrical member, that is circular in cross section, and it is linear. Then, if it is subjected to a transverse load, if it is subjected to transverse load and it is subjected to an elastic deformation, due to that elastic deformation, if its cross section is going to change from circular to some ellipse, or its linearity is changed to some curve beyond that elastic limit, then we have the problem of rigidity. This is predominant. This is a very, very important factor when this particular part is assembled with some other element for the power transmission. In power transmission, there are two things. One is driver, another one is driven. If these are not able to make contact due to its problem with the rigidity, then there will be improper power transmission. In order to have proper power transmission or proper supply of force to the member to the tool or tool to the member in a machine element, whether it is a machine tool component or in an engine, rigidity is also an important parameter. If the member is rigid enough, it is going to retain its shape even after it is loaded to the full level. Next, wear resistance. The member is going to wear out due to the relative motion. The two elements in a machine which are having relative motion between them, then there will be friction, and along with friction we will have wear. So wear resistance is very, very important where you have relative motion between the parts. If the two parts which are joined together and which have relative motion between them, in that case wear resistance is of paramount importance. Next, minimum dimensions and weight. Certain things like flywheel, the purpose of the flywheel is to store the energy temporarily. In that case, the weight of the flywheel is playing very, very important role. And the dimensions, whether they are maximum or minimum, these also plays a very, very important role, because a matter is made of a certain material, and material will have certain density, and if it is having only certain amount of volume, then only it can have required mass. So mass is important for things like flywheel. Therefore, in order to have the required mass and required weight, you should have minimum dimension also. Next, manufacturability. What is manufacturability? If you want to take a certain metal for a certain product, it's good, fine. It is very, very hard, and hardness is the very, very required parameter. But if you are unable to make it to the required shape, the raw material is supplied in big ingots, and you want to make it into small rods. If you cannot convert that into the small rods from the given ingot, then it's of no use. Even though it is very, very hard, which requires the compression strength, but the manufacturability, how you are going to make from the given raw product to the final shape, is also very, very important. How easily, how effectively the member from its raw state to the finished state is converted is manufacturability. Manufacturability is also very, very vital in the requirements. And next, safety. If you are making a member and you are not caring about what happens if this is going to fail, certain elements requires very, very vital consideration. If they are going to fail, the entire system is going to collapse. Certain things are very, very critical. So depending upon the criticality of the element in the machine or in the machine tool, we have to look for its safety. Certain things, if they fail, nothing will happen. But certain things, if they fail, lot of problems will arise. Catastrophe may occur. Certain lives are in danger. Certain other machinery is in danger. Certain lot of downtime is going to happen. In that case, the safety of element is a paramount importance here, and then conformation to the standards. So first let us discuss what is standard. In order to replace one thing with another, industry has conformed to a particular standard. Suppose this is a ballpoint pen. This pen is made by X company. This company is selling products in only metropolitan cities. Now I brought this pen to this place Guntur. After writing for 1 month or so, the ink has completely gone out, and it is completely gone out, and now I need replacement to this pen. That means I need a refill which can replace this. If you take the same case that is available only in metro cities, then I have to call someone in the Hyderabad or in Chennai or book through Amazon, and they have to send it, then again I have to fit it. Okay, if this is a pen, it's fine. I can wait until that period, I can write with something else. But I have a car. I am riding this car, suddenly I heard some sound. I stopped the car and went around the car for inspection, and I found that certain bolt has cracked. Certain bolt has cracked. If I continue to ride the car without replacing that bolt, an entire suspension system will go awry. That means it is going to function in a faulty way. Then what should I do? Immediately I should go for replacement. If that bolt is not available in Guntur or in Nambur, then what should I do? I should book again in the Amazon, or I should go for Chennai or Hyderabad or call someone to send the bolt. How much time it will take to send from that place to this place? Definitely it will take more than 24 hours. Then I should stay on the roadside for next 24 hours to get to the bolt and to replace. This is ridiculous. So in avoiding such ridiculous conditions, industry has decided to put standards on certain elements. So those elements which are conforming to the standards are available everywhere in the world, such as bolt, nut, screw, etc. So those things are available with the standards, and they can be replaced with locally available things. So these are the various requirements of machine elements, starting with strength. Strength is needed for the member to avoid failure. Rigidity is required to maintain the contact, and then wear resistance is to give good life, and then minimum dimension weight to provide certain parameters, and manufacturability is required to convert the raw material into finished product easily, and safety after making this element which is fit into the machine. If that fails, what happens to the surrounding conditions? So that is safety, and conformation standards, replacement of parts with ease with the standards.